Today I'm going to show you how to set screw a camshaft gear onto the shaft. I'm going to be using this wonderful tool here made by Russ, who's an excellent machinist and tool maker. This is very simple. We're going to put 2 set screws in the nose of this cam gear. Now, do you need this on a street car? Not really. The race car guys, we like to have all the insurance we can, so yeah, we use this. This is cam gear from California Corvairs, which I find they work real well. A little bit cheaper than the Clark's Ultimate gear, but I've pinned several different ones, and I've never had a cam gear failure, let's put it that way. But if you're running a lot of compression, stiff valve springs, things like that, it's good insurance. So let's get into it. Now, what I'm going to be doing is putting a set screw here and a set screw here. This is the keyway, and this is what we use to line the tool up with. But it'll be equally spaced, and there, so you have 3 equally spaced points. Now the set screw will not go all the way through. It only goes, well, let's see here. There's a little set screw there, less than 1/4 of an inch in. We're not drilling clear through. We don't want to cut away any of the aluminum material, then we have to. But the thread will be halfway on the camshaft and halfway on the aluminum gear here. And as Russ is good at doing, he has machined the end of this set screw that exactly mimics the end of the drill bit that we use to drill and tap the hole with. So this thing fits right in there perfectly. Let me get you in a little closer here, and we'll look at the component pieces. This is the main part of the tool. This is what we clamp onto the gear itself. That's what this is made for. We have a sight hole right here so we can see the keyway, and then you have the equally spaced drill. These are drill guides here. These things are made of hardened steel. This allows you to put the hole exactly in the right spot and get it squared. Other hole here is threaded. These are 1/4-20 threads. This is so whenever you have this on the cam, and after you've drilled your holes and you line this up so that you can tap the holes, this holds the tap in one place. This allows you to tap the holes in the harder cast iron and half in the softer aluminum to do it correctly. So we'll be demonstrating that. Now his kit comes with a selection here of 3 or 4 of these set screws with the ends tapered as they're supposed to. Even sends you a little Allen wrench with it. This is the drill bit that we use to drill the holes. Then we have 2 taps here that are 1/4-20s. This is a bottoming tap that you use last, and this is a plug tap. Plug tap, you tap the first hole with this, then you run this in. This gets your threads down as far into the bottom of that hole as possible. Called a bottom tap. Ha! Imagine that. Anyway, these come in the kit. Got a nice little tube here to hold the little set screws. These things have a bad habit of rolling off my bench, disappearing underneath of it or somewhere else on the floor. So anyhow, let's get to mounting this thing. Okay, I've mounted the camshaft here so that I have the keyway right here. This is how you tighten it up against the cam gear itself. Now this is made very nicely. You don't obviously put a bunch of ugga-duggas on this thing. You line it up here. Yeah, right there. We're pretty much on. Now of course, this is not heavy duty machinery here. You don't have to be lined up right to the nth degree as far as getting it on there, but it's pretty easy to do this and use it as your jig, which is what it is. It's a jig for doing this. And this thing clamps this thing down quite well, as a matter of fact. All right. Now, make that a little bit more tight, but you don't have to put a whole bunch of ugga-ma-duggas on it. Let's see if we can see that keyway. Okay, let's put a little light on. As you can see in the sight hole, you can see the keyway for the cam gear. It's lined up as it's supposed to be. Okay, we're about to do the drilling here. I put the drill bit in. I made a mark on here. I had to know exactly how deep to go with it, so I put it in the hole, and then as you can see here, I held one of these set screws up here, and then I scratched a mark on the bit so I'll know where to quit. You got to know when to quit. Man, why is that being blurry? I don't know. Anyhow, you get the idea. Okay, approximately 1 1/8 inches is how deep the drill bit needs to go, and that's measuring against the drill guide. Your mileage may vary. You don't know, you might have your own set screws or some other way, but this is what I have with the kit that I got from Russ. Okay, as usual, I put a little tap magic on the drill bit. You could use WD-40 if you don't have genuine tap magic. Let's cut this first hole. I like to back it out a little bit and clear the drill bit. A little bit of magic compressed air. Make sure I'm not going beyond my mark here. Yeah, we got about another 1/8 or so to go. Add a little more lube. See where we get. Now, if you don't drill this deep enough, then the head of the set screw is going to stick out a little bit, which is okay. I just took a zip disc and ground it down so it was level. You can drill a little deeper so that the head of it is countersunk, which is okay too. Let me see where I am here again. I didn't make a real clear mark on there. That's good enough. Oh Lord, we got more to go. Or do we? A little bit. That's about it for that one. Now, with the jig still in place, we can get over here and drill the second hole. Usually I put a piece of tape on here to show me where the depth is. Didn't do that this time, but let's see. Are we in there? Ah, yeah. That should do it. I don't know what kind of drill bit that is that he sends along with this, but that sucker is sharp, baby. Okay, again, we use the supplied Allen key to remove the pressure so we can rotate this thing. We have to take a little more than that off, aren't we? Yeah. Alright. So the idea here is to rotate it around and line up your nicely drilled hole. Let me blow that out while we're here. Let me get you down there and show you that hole. Okay, as you can see here, we have a hole nicely drilled here and a hole nicely drilled here, half on the camshaft and half over here on the aluminum part. Now, I have added some rapid tap cutting oil to the threaded hole. I also have this doesn't come with the kit. This is a nice little socket for using a ratchet and putting it on a tap. So I screw this through just till it shows a little bit. We also have to put some tap and goop on the tap itself. Now to find that hole right there, I've got it sticking out some and I'm kind of eyeballing this. Right there we go. Make sure this thing is on there really good before you tighten it down here. Get him located. And you tighten this thing down again. Now I'm going to back that out and check it just for S&Gs. It's been a little while since I've used one of these. Now, I actually couldn't find the instructions for it. Okay, I took a little eyeball through the hole. It looks like it's lined up pretty good. So we'll be running this through there first. Be running the plug tab through there first. This is a new plug tab. This isn't Chinese junk, and it cuts really well. Now you notice I use a short handled 1/4 inch drive. That's what this is, 1/4 inch, but I use a short handled ratchet so I can't put too much stupid pressure on it. Let's see how far that went in. Didn't feel quite right, but it might be. Of course, you know you're supposed to run it in a turn or two and back it back out and clean the crap out of the flutes so that it goes in there a little bit better. Let's try them again here, just to be sure. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Oh yeah. Yep, that's on the bottom. Okay. Now, we obviously know that now the threads are completely aligned perfectly. And we're going to switch over to the bottoming tap here. Get those threads down a little bit further into the hole. Put a little goop on there. You always want to thread these by hand as far as you can, because it can get just a little bit cocked in there and it will start recutting its own threads, and that's not nice. It's not good. Okay, you feel it cutting now. Gonna be getting in there pretty deep. Right there. Feel that resistance. You don't want to go any further. These are hard, but they can break off easily. And you haven't lived until you've broken a tap off and then had to get it out. I have done it numerous times, and I try to avoid that at all costs because it's a real pain in the ass to do that. And I've got some special tools actually made to get after a broken tap. I have a set of specially really hard drill bits. If you break one off, you can go down in the hole with these drill bits and drill that sucker out. But as you find out, if you're doing that in aluminum, it'll go off to the side and just dig its own little hole. All right, let's take this loose, see how our hole looks here. Blow that out a little bit. Oh yeah, that looks real nice. Very, very nice. Now, let's see how well my depth is, or how good my depth is. We'll have to get the get another one of these hickey doobers here. As soon as I find it, I always open the wrong drawer. I mean, I've been in this, I know where my tools are most of the time, but not always. All right, of course the one I want, I can't find. Wait a minute, is that him? That's him right there. It's a 1/8. All right, I'm going to test the depth on this, is what I'm doing. Oh, perfect. It's going to be down below the surface here. Now I will clean that out, and I'm going to throw a little thread locker on it, just for S&Gs again. All right. Let's blow the crud out of here. You got to keep these threaded holes as clear of cutting debris as possible. All right, now we got to switch back to the good old plug tap to align the tap here for the new hole. All right, before we get too crazy, let's refresh the looby. Looby, looby, loo. I saw you walking. No, that's not right. You really don't want me to sing. All right, you know, this would work better if I stuck it in from the right. But put it in the hole wrong. Where have you heard that before? Okay. Don't want this to be X-rated, but you know me. I'm kind of X-rated myself. Well, let's see. All right. I'm going to put him down here. Get him lined up as best as we can. We got him right there. Take the old can't find the hole. Oh, there it is. All right. How we looking here? Yeah, we're looking good, baby. I really need to get that tight. That's what she said. Anyway, I still can't find the hole. But at my age, don't make any difference. Okay, we have the jig mounted. We have it lined up. Now we start cutting threads. Got to put a thread, Fred. Don't go over your head. That felt a little snug. Doesn't take very long, especially when you have good American-made, sharp as it can be equipment. That's a good tap. That thing is sharp. Okay. Blow the crap off of it. Switch over to the plug tap. And before I do that, I'm going to make sure that the threaded hole is nice and clear in there. Yeah, you always get stuff out of there for sure. Okay. A little more juice on here. There's some juice. How do you spell that? Jooce? If you want to do it long, there on that double O sound. Alrighty. Alright, feel it cutting. You can feel it cut in that cast iron, obviously. This thing really cuts nicely. Okay, that's about it right there. I'm always scared to death. I'm going to break that thing off in there, so I'm as gentle as a lamb. Easy squeezy, you know what I mean? This is real interesting, isn't it? If you're watching me do the crazy stuff I do, you got a sad life. You need to get out more, you know. Alrighty, let's clean that thing out one more time before I disconnect it. See if we can get this thing in the hole again. Okay, after we have our threaded holes nicely drilled, we'll clean the oil out of there with a good old brake clean. I order this stuff from Denko by the case. It's cheaper, gets here relatively quick, and I use a lot of it. Don't use much of it anymore because I'm not building engines for anybody, including myself, except for my genuine turbo engine here. All right, we got that clean in there. I'm going to put a little red Loctite on there. I don't think this is going to ever come out, but you don't know that, do you? So just to be on the safe side, we'll put some of this plasticky goop in there and lock it in place for whatever reason. Look at that. That went in there so smooth. Man, that's perfect. You'd almost think I knew what I was doing. You know what they say, the blind hog finds an acorn once in a while. All right. A little dab will do you. We'll wipe off the excess. Let's see how far this one will go in. Man, that jig and those sharp tools just does a fine job. Yeah, this one here I drilled a little deeper, but not too deep. Didn't break through the other side or any of that silliness. All right, now let's get a close-up look at this. All right, there you have it. Set screw here, set screw here, equidistant between the keyway, set screw, and back to the keyway. It's not going anywhere. And that's how you do it, folks. And there she is. Done, ready to install. Thrust washer, nice and tight. Now you noticed, this is a TB20, a TB20 Auto Parts cam for a turbo. And on my vise here, I have aluminum inserts. So, and I wasn't squeezing it down real tight to hold this. It holds it tight enough to do the job here, and that's all I needed. So as I said, Mr. Russ Davis's fine little tool here is what you want. And if you were going to go racing or anything like that, or you just want to do it, if you're like me, you like tools. Wife's asked me several times when I was buying a tool, do you need that? No, but I want it. It's cool. I gotta have it. So anyway, that's it for this portion. Seizure.